Welcome to the Payback Team training call. And this is going to be a phenomenal call because we just got back from convention 2025 and there is a ton of stuff to go over. It was amazing. If you were not there, you guys definitely have to be there next time. Definitely every time you guys get a sale or help a family, definitely put a little bit away, just put $100 away so that way by the time convention comes next year, you guys have the money set aside and you don't have to take any money out of your sales to pay for it. But put $100 away every single sale, and then that way you guys have plenty of money by the time it comes, and you guys can splurge, have fun. For us, it was like a vacation on steroids, literally. I mean, I brought my son. My son loved it. He was 13 years, he is 13 years old. And literally, he had a blast. He saw Kenny Brooks on there. If you guys don't follow him, he's on Instagram. You guys should go follow him. He's on Instagram, and he's the funny salesman. And basically what he taught was he didn't want to do, he didn't even graduate from high school. And so one time, somebody told him that, look, if you want to master door-to-door sales, you should definitely study some scripts. And so he went out and bought like 10 notebooks, and he came up with some lines, and they're just, I mean, I can't even mimic what he says, but you guys should go on Instagram and follow him. It's what is it? Funny Salesman. But yeah, he's super funny. Anyways, that was just one of them. There was literally about 130 speakers at convention, and they were all phenomenal. I was up there speaking. We all had like 5-minute talks, unless you were a keynote speaker like Tim Grover or, who else was there? Prime Time, Dion Sanders. There was E.T., Eric Thomas. There were some good speakers there. But every single one of us brought the best of us. In 5 minutes, they just brought to the point exactly what was needed to say, what was needed to teach, and then they moved on to the next speaker. I mean, it was just powerful, and if you fell asleep, I mean, I don't know anybody who could have fallen asleep there because it was just, everything was action-packed, and it was just a bunch of knowledge. So I took literally about 18 pages of notes, and I'm going to share some of those with you today. So the first speaker that got up, we always got up in pairs. And the first pair that got up was Grady Polson, which is my upline, and Andrew Taylor, which is his upline. And they talked about recruiting 101. Obviously, if you don't want to recruit, you can make a really good living here with FFL just selling life insurance because we're the highest comp in the industry, right? But recruiting also helps with passive income. There are a ton of people out there that are looking for an opportunity. And one of the things they said was, if you're not sharing the opportunity with them, you're actually being selfish, because literally there are people out there looking for another opportunity. And if you're withholding it, you're not giving them something that they need. You're not helping them, right? And so they kind of went over a few things in order to build your business the fastest. One of the things they said was 10-10-10. Try to talk to 10 people a week, have 10 people in licensing, and have 10 people in contracting all at the same time. Now, obviously, you're not going to start off that way right away. But if you can start by talking to 10 people a week, eventually that's going to work out. And really, you're going to have 10 people in contracting at some given point in time. You're going to have 10 people in licensing at one point in time. And eventually, your team will grow. Okay. Zach Twardowski and John, if you guys have a pen and paper, write this stuff down, because I'm going to go over some stuff that you're going to be like, this is a golden nugget. I need to remember this. And if you don't remember it and you don't write it down, well, if you don't write it down, chances are you won't remember it. So definitely have a pen and paper handy. Zach Twardowski is under John Wetmore. Zach Twardowski is the youngest integrity partner in the business so far. He's been in the business for 7 years, but he got his integrity deal when I think he was 21, 22. And now I think he's what, 26, something like that. Anyways, he's the one that is at the forefront of teaching IULs. And they got up there and they were talking about sharing the good news, right? This, working with FFL is the good news because we have the opportunity that a lot of people don't have. He also talked about, I'm going to run through these quick, guys, so make sure you write them down. He also talked about leads and how it's easier to and more profitable to just buy new leads rather than squeezing every single dime out of the old leads, right? People always want to say, how do you know that all of your leads are worked, right? Well, what his theory is, which totally makes sense, is go for the cherries. Go for the low-hanging fruit on the tree. And when you do that, all you're going to do is buy leads consistently. And if you buy leads consistently and go through your leads consistently, you're going to find the low-hanging fruit. And what do you do with the ones that you can't get a hold of? Well, put them in your CRM, let it drip on them, text them, email them all the time. And when they're ready, they will reach out to you. They will reach back out to you by a text, right? I look in my CRM and a lot of times I don't even hear from these people for about 10 to 12 text messages, sometimes 30, 40, 50 days, sometimes 2, 3 months, right? And I'll go back sometimes every once in a while and just count how many text messages they received. And a lot of times it's 12 text messages before they respond back with wanting an appointment. So don't worry about calling every single one of your lead and justifying, this lead is dead or this lead is still active, following up with them. Just buy leads on a consistent basis and work the leads. And that was the other thing they talked about, is going to work. Put forth the effort, right? Because the more you take massive, massive imperfect action, the easier it's going to get for you, the better it's going to get for you, because you're going to get better at presenting. You're going to get better at building the value, price conditioning. You're going to get better at explaining the benefits to the client. And eventually you're going to help more and more and more people. And as you help more people, your numbers will go up and people will be attracted to you. Okay. John Panetta, he talked about being a top producer. John Panetta, this is his first year. He was a rookie and he did over 800,000 in issue paid premium in 1 year. Okay. And what he talked about was some pretty powerful stuff. Everything that you don't have, write this down. This is a good one. Everything that you don't have is because of the story that you're telling yourself. I thought that was pretty powerful because it's true, right? A lot of people don't have confidence in themselves. You don't want to go talk to this guy over here. He's a cashier at Target, or he's a warehouse guy at Walmart, right? They want a bigger opportunity, but you don't want to go talk to them because you feel like you don't know everything about selling policies, right? Well, nobody does, to be honest with you. No, I don't know everything about IULs. I don't know everything about every single policy. In fact, if one of you guys reach out to me, a lot of times I'm looking at the cheat sheet to figure out, okay, which one does this guy qualify for? You don't have to know everything, right? All you have to do is talk, open your mouth, share the good news, share what you're doing. Okay. He also talked about, what is your why? Why are you guys in this business? What's the purpose? Okay. For me, I want to be financially free. I want to be able to retire at a young age, and I want to be able to not have any bills whatsoever. And I want to be able to go wherever I want to go in this country. And I want to be able to travel the world. I want to be able to give my kids, my grandkids, anything that they would ever need, right? I don't want to spoil them, but I want to be able to give them anything that they would ever need. If they want to go to college, maybe I can split that with them. If I'm financially free, I can do that. I can give them that benefit. Okay. If I have no bills, I am not shackled by any creditors. And to be honest with you guys, I'm gonna be straight up here with you. I was in real estate before this, and I got into tax debt from real estate really, really bad. I was $188,000 in debt, in tax debt. And this business, FFL, has really helped me and allowed me to pay off all that tax debt. I'm done. I have no debt no more with the IRS. Okay, so figure out what is your why and use that to fuel you forward. What vehicle is the easiest to get to $1 million fast? That's another thing that he talked about, John Panetta. And this vehicle right here, life insurance with FFL, I talked to another guy just recently, and his wife joined another IMO, which is perfectly fine. I'm not going to tell you I don't want to, this is being recorded, so I don't want to tell you the name of the company, but they start their people at 30% and they make them pay $200 just to get in, right? Here, we're the highest comp and we actually pay for your course. They had to go buy their own course and then they had to pay $200 to get in. That's ridiculous. This is the easiest business to start and it's the cheapest. If you wanted to start a franchise with Subway, I want to say it's like 75,000 just to buy into the Subway franchise. If you want to start a franchise with Chick-fil-A, it's 250,000, right? Before you buy all of the goods to go with it. Here, this is the cheapest. Really, what are you doing? You're buying your license, you're buying your test, you're buying your license, and guess what? You're buying leads. And you really don't even have to buy leads. You got 4 ways to build this business. You can talk to your friends and family, you can knock doors, you can work your social media for, purchasing lead or to get them to respond to, for life insurance, or you can buy leads. For me, I think buying leads is the cheapest, most effective way to be able to, grow this business. I used to be when I was in real estate, I used to have to generate my own leads. And so I had kids from my church coming over every single day to lick, stamp, and send out mailers to people that I thought were going to, possibly want to sell their house with the criteria of the houses that I wanted to buy. I had a full grown marketing department in my basement of my house. It got pretty crazy. I had to manage that. Then I had to manage the contractors when I was flipping houses. Here, you know what? I don't even have to manage anything when it comes to leads. I just go and buy them and let somebody else manage that. All that managing of the leads, that just takes time away from you building your business and helping more people get protected. And so I would rather just give them a little bit of money so that they can do all of that stuff. Plus, with all of the algorithms changing on the social media, I don't want to keep up with that stuff. So I just pay them to do all of that fun stuff for me. And then I just buy those leads, and those are my leads forever. Or you can set it up to where you pay a management fee to somebody that's managing your social media ad for you, and then you just pay for the ads. I mean, there's multiple ways to do it, but just buy leads. And then every single time you get a paycheck, bump that amount up just a little bit so that you're getting more and more leads coming in, right? That's going to force you to work harder. It's going to force you to work your leads more. It's going to force you to make more money. It's going to force you to get better. You're only going to get better. You have no choice of getting better, right? This is also the highest paid commission in the insurance industry. Life insurance in general is the highest paid commission, right? And the reason why is because it's not easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it, right? But with FFL, it is the highest paid commission. As I mentioned, this other person went with another company and they started at 30%. Obviously, their commission is going to go up, but it's only going to go up to 50, 60%, maybe 80%. Here at FFL, we start at 80%, go all the way up to 145%. Okay. You have a lot of opportunity to make money here if you just apply yourself. Okay. The other thing that John Panetta said was the story. He talked about the story, right? Where we're not succeeding is the story that we tell ourselves. And he ended the little talk there with the story that he tells himself. Everything he does, he tells himself, everything I touch turns to gold. Everything I touch turns to gold. I'm going to go and help this client. Everything I touch turns to gold. This client didn't want the policy. Well, it doesn't matter because everything I touch turns to gold. He tells himself that. And you can tell by him getting up on stage, by him, talking to other people, that he's just happy and go lucky and just always on fire, excited about life, right? And we should be excited about life. Why? Because we have life insurance for one. So if we die, our family's protected. And if you don't have life insurance, you should definitely get some. But on top of that, we're helping protect other families and we're getting paid to do that. We're getting paid very, very well. There's no reason why we shouldn't be excited about life, right? So that was pretty cool. The next people that got up was Brent Abernathy and Sean Merriman. And Brent Abernathy was a professional baseball player. He was in the MLB. And then Sean Merriman was a professional football player. And their talk was about from pro, sports to FFL. And their main theme was fall in love with the process, because in order to become pro, you have to practice a lot. You have to play a lot, right? And even when you are pro, you're still practicing. You're still going to the gym every single day to work out. You're still at the gym, or after you're done with the gym, you're still on the field practicing your basic footwork, your drills, right? Every single day. So do that here. Practice every single day here. And the cool part about it is you can actually get paid to practice, right? By writing policies and helping families, you're actually practicing. And they said, do the work when the lights and the cameras aren't on, right? When nobody's around you and you're all by yourself, that's when the real work comes out. They talked about how they would be in the locker room looking at footage every single night after so that they can prepare themselves for the next game. Find out what they're doing wrong or what they can use a little bit more help on, right? You can do the same thing after every single call you get off the phone with. Analyze it a little bit. Okay, what could I have said a little bit differently to help them understand the policy a little bit better? What could I have said that would help them want to pull the trigger right now and get protected, to be able to protect their family, right? If you don't know, reach out to me or reach out to somebody on the team. Get on live dials, help unmute on live dials to get better, right? But you have to do the things that are going to make you successful when nobody else is watching. That also includes your personal stuff, personal development, mindset things, getting better in your mind, making your mind strong. It also includes making your body strong, going to the gym every single day, getting active every single day. Maybe that's walking around the block for 30 minutes. Maybe that's going to the gym to do a full-blown workout, whatever that may be. Maybe that's going for a run for you, maybe going for a bike ride or something. But do something that's active every single day. It's going to help your mind become clear. It's going to help you stay healthy. And if you stay healthy, then you can succeed a lot more when you have a healthy mind and a healthy body and a healthy spirit. Okay. Wiley Hawkins. Now, Wiley Hawkins is a young dude. He was up there with Ronnie Salem. And Wiley Hawkins, I'm not sure if he's an integrity partner, but he has a business that is doing, his agency is doing 18 million. And Wiley Hawkins is like 25 years old. And his thing was, why recruit? Okay. And I spoke a little bit about it a little bit earlier, but the reason why we need to recruit is because there's so many people out there looking for an opportunity. There's 7 billion people in this country, and we have 25,000 agents in FFL. That's it. We don't even have 100,000. There's so many people out there that's never even heard of FFL. There were people up on stage um, Jay Maska is another guy. He went into Walmart. He saw the guy, stocking, and he walked up to him and said, "Hey, man, how long you been doing this?" And he's like, "I've been doing it for 6 months." He's like, "Do you love it? Are you married to your job?" And he's like, "Hell no." He's like, "You want another job?" He goes, "Yeah. What do you got?" So Jay Maska just told him about it. This year, he was up on stage because he hit Hall of Fame. And that guy's 22 years old, right? Now, not everybody is young, but a lot of people that are young are looking for opportunities. A lot of people that are old are looking for opportunities, right? I have a guy on my team that's 65 years old. It doesn't matter how old you are, there's always somebody looking for another opportunity. Um, he also gave his 90-second pitch. He's got a formula for it. And if you have your pen and paper, write this down. This is the formula. Here's what I did. Here was my struggle. Introduce FFL. And then here's what I'm doing now. Those 4 parts right there. Here's what I did. Here's my struggle. Introduce FFL. And here's what I'm doing now. So as an example, I was a real estate investor. So I might walk up to somebody and say, "Hey, are you married to your job?" "No." "Why is that?" "Well, because I'm looking to hire people and I think you'd be good for what I got." "Well, what do you do for a living?" "Well, I got the most amazing job, man. I used to be a real estate investor and I used to flip houses. I still flip houses on the side, but I had a problem with all of the contractors. I had a problem with them showing up on time, giving me bids that would stick. Then I had a problem with sending out mailers, and it just became very, very tedious. And there were some houses that I lost a lot of money on. And so then I found life insurance, and specifically I found FFL. And through FFL, they have the highest comp, meaning the highest commission. And guess what? You don't have to go talk to friends and family. You don't have to go talk to your knock on doors. We have leads that you can buy. And because of that, now I'm going to tell them what I do. Last year, I did $570,000 of issue paid premium. And what that equates to is just under $500,000. Do you think that might be something that you might be interested in? And so just practice and master a 90-second pitch based off of those that formula that I just gave you, those 4 line items. And whenever you see somebody, now it just comes to mind and you just start telling them about your story. And that's what Wiley Hawkins does. And that's how he's recruited a lot of people. The other thing that he talked about was get on social media. Don't be shy. Post your wins. You don't always have to recruit on social media. Just talk about what you're doing, talk about what you're learning, talk about anything that has to be of value, right? And here's the biggest thing. Here is the biggest thing about social media. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Just get on there. Just post every single day. Shoot a video of yourself, post it. Doesn't have to be perfect. People are not perfect, right? In fact, most people talk about social media as how people that get on there act like they're so perfect, right? Well, guess what? Be the person that's not perfect. Nobody's perfect. If you look at my videos, they're not perfect. They're not even in 4K and they're all blurry. That's okay. So what? People like the content. And there is every single person here, everywhere in the world has a gift, has something that somebody out there is looking for. You may not know what that is, but there may be one person that you touch, and that's all that matters is you touch that one person. Okay. And the next thing was he got up there and talked about empowering other people. Can't remember who talked about this, but uh, if you go and serve and just literally have a mind and a heart to serve other people, the money is going to follow you. If you just serve other people, the money will follow you and you'll be a multimillionaire eventually. May not happen in a year, may not happen in 5 years, may not happen in 10 years. All you do is help other people. And here's the key: believe in yourself, right? Because every single one of you has a gift. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. God gives us all gifts, and we all have that gift, whether you believe it or not. But when you start believing it and have confidence in yourself, start talking to other people, you're definitely going to be able to help other people. Um, and here's the other thing that he said: ask yourself, how many lives can I change today? How many lives can I change today? Whether that be helping people with their policy, protecting them, whether that be talking to them about FFL, showing them the ropes, okay? Whether that be, just reaching out to help them. One story I remember was there was two people up on stage. They weren't even on the same team. They don't benefit each other as far as like helping them. But one guy was a brand new guy. The other guy was a newer guy, and they were running in-home appointments. And I don't remember where they were, Wyoming or something like that. And they had in-home appointments in Fargo, North Dakota. And they took a road trip together. One of them was more experienced than the other one, and they both went up to Fargo, North Dakota to help each other run those appointments. And I thought that was really cool. And when you go to these events, especially at convention, you find that you can literally walk up to anybody, talk to them, and they will be more than happy to help you out. I was asking Zach and Jay Masca and other people if they would be willing to help some of my team members. And they said, yeah, no problem. No problem whatsoever. They had no qualms, no questions about it. They're willing to help out. And that's what I love about Family First Life. It is really, truly like a family, right? So then Dave Anderson got up there and talked for probably about an hour, hour and a half. But I'm going to save his talk for another day because I literally have like 4 pages of notes just from him alone. He was phenomenal. Stephen Yee, he brought up, his talk was about 20 by 20 by 20, right? Now write this down. 20 agents selling 20,000 in premium on a 20% spread. That's your $1 million of passive income per year. Okay. We're going to talk about at the end of this call on working on getting your comp level up, because that should be your number one goal. 20 agents selling $20,000 of premium per month on a 20% spread is your $1 million passive income right there. 20 agents. That's it. Just teach 20 agents how to do that. How to sell 20,000 in issue paid premium. How long does it take to get 20 agents? It really doesn't matter. The call after this call, you're going to hear a guy by the name of Thierry Brown. Over the course of last year, he just recruited 12 agents. That's it. And his agency did 2.5 million off of 12 agents. Okay. All you have to do is spend time with people, train them, teach them. That's it. And you don't have to know everything. That's why we have a team. That's why you have me. That's why we have a team. And as we come together as a team and help other people, guess what? Your team grows and you become better. Two things that Stephen Yee said. One of them was pretty cool. Nothing out there is expensive. Nothing. You just can't afford it. Things are not expensive. You just can't afford it. And then the other thing he said is the best thing you can do for poor people is not to be one. The best thing you can do for poor people is not to be one, right? Nina and Hayden got up there. They're awesome. They're like 28 years old right now, and they're integrity partners. They built a business super fast over time, and just by recruiting, talking to people. So a couple of their topic was have a bulletproof mindset, right? We're all going to go in our ups and downs. We're going to have ups some days, everything's going to go great. Sometimes we have weeks of everything going great. And then sometimes we have those days where everything is down, where it seems like no matter what you do, it doesn't work, right? So we're going to have our ups and downs. But they said have a level mindset, which makes sense, right? Don't worry about if you have a down day because the next day could be 10 times better. Don't worry about if you have a great day because the next day may not be as great. Stay level. Keep your emotions out of it and stay level, right? It's a numbers game. It's kind of like a roller coaster. When we're starting off the business, it goes way up, just like a roller coaster. And then all of a sudden, you get complacent and you're not doing the things that you were. Maybe you need to learn some more. And then it drops drastically like a roller coaster. Then it goes back up again and it does fantastic, right? You're doing great, but the hill isn't as steep. Okay. The second hill is never as steep as the first one, and then it goes back down again, but it's not as big of a drop. And then you go through your loops and your twists and your turns. But towards the end, after a while, once you start to get better at it, guess what? The hills start to become smaller and they even out and they flatten out, just like a roller coaster. Here, it's the same way. Okay. But we have to, in order to keep going, we have to keep learning and growing. And that's going to make us better every single day. Okay. Um, where are we at here? Oh, don't have a plan B. Okay. Commit to yourselves that you're definitely going to make this work. There's no plan B. If you take out the plan B, you have one less thing to focus on. If you have only plan A and you burn the bridges and burn the boats, you have no way back. I guarantee you'll succeed. A lot of you out there have like different things that you're doing, different businesses, right? Me, here's my deal. I'm going to tell you, I have 5 businesses, but guess what? I don't do anything for those other 4. I focus 100% on this one. I have a property manager that takes care of all my property managing businesses. If I flip a house, I have a construction company that takes care of all of that. So I don't have to worry about that stuff. Okay. I'm focusing 100% on building this business so that I can help as many agents get to their goals as soon as possible. Zig Ziglar always said, if you want to get to where you want to go, you got to help enough other people to get where they want to go. Okay. Um, break down your goals. Look at your goals. And we've talked about this before. I have tons of trainings on this. Look at your goals for the year. We got 11 months left of this year. We're at the top of the year. Where do you want to be at 12/31/2025? Look at your goals and break them down per quarter and then break them down per month, break them down per week, break them down to your daily activities. If you get clear on where you're going, guess what? You're going to get clearly there. Because if you're not clear, you have no place where to go. It's like driving. I mean, let's say that somebody picked you up and put you in a city where you've never been before. And they said, go to the nearest Walmart. You don't know how to get there, but you don't have a GPS. You're going to get there, but you may get there in 2 to 3 days after you drive around trying to find it. But if you turn on the GPS and you put in your destination, you put in your goal, it's going to take you right there. And there may be a detour, but guess what? It'll detour around and take you around it to get to that same destination. It's the same thing that we do every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year, over the course of 5, 10 years. Guys, retirement is coming for every single one of us. Someday you will be 65s. For some of us, it's a lot sooner than later, right? Where do you want to be when you're 65? Do you want to keep going the track that you're on, or do you want to do better, right? So break down your goals over the course of this year and break it down to daily activities. Maybe you have to dial more. Maybe you have to buy more leads so that you can get more appointments so you can dial more. Okay. Every single day, do those daily activities. Okay. And then Mark Mead got up there next, and he talked about how to balance selling and recruiting. He talked about three different kinds of people. One type of person is a guy that sells insurance. And he says, I don't want to build anything. I'm not an expert in selling yet. I want to wait till I become an expert and then I'll start recruiting. The second guy says, I only want to build. I don't want to sell anything. And so they sit around all day and they wait for their agents to start selling something. Okay. The problem with the first guy is since they're not building anything, they don't have any fire. When you have a new agent coming in, that new agent is looking to you to learn how to sell. And it pushes you to want to sell more. It's a win-win situation because they're looking to you. And as you start selling more, they're going to start selling more. Okay. The guy that's sitting around waiting for their agents to sell something, they're not going to sell anything. Why? Because their leader isn't doing anything. Their leader's doing nothing. So how are they going to sell? Right? They're going to rely on their team. Yeah, they can rely on the team for support. But if their main direct person that brought them in the business isn't doing anything, how are they going to do anything? Right? So the third type of person is that person that, you know what it is selling and building an agency and recruiting people. And they're in the business and ready to go, believe in the business since day one. They've burned their bridges. They've literally said, I'm not going back because I see the future. Here's my destination. Here's my goals. This is where I'm going, and I'm not turning back. This is what's going to happen. It's not a maybe, it's a fact. This is what's going to happen. And by me doing this, helping people and protecting people, I'm also showing them that, look, this business is really not that hard. All we're doing is buying leads, helping people get protected, and teaching other people how to do it. It's like teaching people how to ride a bike, right? And so when you're out there selling and your sales are going up, people see that. And those sales are the ones that attract new people to want to work with you. There's so many people, well, not so many, but there's people that have been attracted to work with me from being on social media just because they've seen the amount of sales that I have. And so they associate that with me being a leader. I'm not the best leader in the world. I'm not the best sales trainer in the world. I'm not the best person in the world. Just ask my wife, ask my son, right? So everybody has flaws, right? But by you selling and getting better and mastering your craft, you can only get better and at teaching other people the same thing. And you don't even really have to teach them. They can just watch and see what you do. It's really that simple. You know, it's like the field of dreams. Build it and they will come. And the more come, the more will come, right? One person comes, another person will come, another person will come. And just get on social media and start talking. You can use Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. It doesn't really matter. Use all of them. Okay. There's another one here that I wanted to talk about. Oh, Frank Euphemia said he got up on stage and he said, you know, hey, a lot of people tell me, well, what's the secret to succeed? Or they ask me, what's the secret? And he's like, there is no secret. It's the same thing. It's leads, schedule, and phone script. Leads, schedule, and phone script. If you have all three, you're going to succeed. If you have enough leads, the phone script and the your schedule is all tight, you're definitely going to succeed, right? But if you don't have the phone script down, you have to have all three. If you don't have the phone script down, but you have leads and you have a schedule, you're still not going to succeed. If you have leads and you have the phone script down, but you're not working and you're not putting forth the effort, you're not calling people, you're not setting appointments, you're not running your appointments, you're not going to succeed. Or you may have the schedule of working 8, 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, 7 days a week. You got your phone script down, but you're too afraid to buy leads and invest in yourself, invest in your own business. It's not going to work. You have to have all three. The secret is leads, schedule, and phone script. That's what it is. It's that simple. Lead, schedule, and phone script. There's no shortcuts. There's no shortcuts whatsoever. You have to go through the work. Everybody in FFL did exactly the same thing. Everybody that was on that stage did exactly the same thing. You literally have to put the work in. If you're not willing to put the work in, then you're in the wrong business, right? Try to find something else out there because this is not a get rich quick scheme. This is literally a business that we're building, and you can help a lot of people. It's one of the most noblest businesses in the world, as you may know. And then last but not least, Sean Mike got up there and he talked about what you need to do to be successful. And he talked about how successful people are impatient. We want everything right now. And sometimes we're perturbed if we don't get it, right? We want everything. We want a sale right now, and we'll do anything possible to get to that sale. If we have to go and run a mile to go get the sale because our car broke down, we will do that, right? We're impatient people. Okay. So sometimes when people call you up and you're like, he even said, when people call me up, I'm like, what's up? There's no use small talking. There's like just getting to the point. Hey, what's up? You get to the point, you solve the problem, move on, get back to helping people. Right. And then he also said one thing that really hit me. You need to care so much about people's success and helping other people that you can't help but to help them. If you care so much about helping people, you're not going to care, but only to help them. And I thought that was pretty cool. So the last thing that I want to talk about, guys, is your comp levels. Okay. The next thing that you guys need to do, and I'm going to share my screen here. You guys need to focus on getting to the next comp level. Where am I at here? There we go. Here's the comp schedule. If you guys don't know it, this is what it is. Starting contract is at 80%. Now, some of you are already at 85, 90, 95, maybe even 100, right? But your goal should be to get to the next comp level. Okay. What's 5%? 5% is a lot of money over time. Okay. 5% of $100,000 is $5,000. $5,000 is a lot of money. Okay. And you're there. Once you get there, you're there forever. All you have to do to get to 105 is do 25,000 twice in a row, or have your team do 75,000. Your team includes you. So let's say you have 5 people that do 10,000 a month. Okay. But you did your 25. That's 75,000. You do that 2 months in a row, that puts you up to 105% comp. Figure where you're at right now on the grid and get yourself there as soon as possible. That should be your next goal, because moving up this grid right here is going to pay you dramatically over the course of time. Right? Think about it this way. Some of you guys have been in here for over a year. And if you're at a 95%, what if you were at 100% over the course of the last year? Okay. And you guys did 200,000. That's $10,000 that you guys missed out on. Okay. Just by not being at that extra 5%. If you're at 100%, try to go for 110. $30,000 a month is really not that much. That's helping one family a day. That's it. One family a day. That's 1,000 in issue paid premium. Okay, 30,000 a month is just short of Hall of Fame. You do 35,000 a month, now you're at Hall of Fame status. That's 400,000 a year. It's actually 33,000 a month is Hall of Fame. But you get to Hall of Fame status, you're always going to be a Hall of Fame agent. You get your red jacket, you get a big Super Bowl ring, you get to eat at the Hall of Fame dinner. It's an amazing, amazing, fun time at the event when you hit Hall of Fame. On top of that, it feels really, really good looking at my or at your bank account or my bank account when you hit 400,000 per year. So I encourage you, look at this, study this, plant this seed in your mind and work on that every single month. And this comp level should be your goal. And if you hit it 2 months in a row, let me know. I'm not going to follow it for you. There's too many agents to follow. You guys hit your comp level, let us know so we can go back and verify it and get you your raise. Because once you go up, you don't have to ever go back. Okay? There's no reason why every single one of you shouldn't be at $20,000 a month issue paid premium. It's really not that hard to do that. That's 1,000 every 20 days. 1,000 in issue paid premium. One family every 20 days. So that's 10 days out of the month not selling anything, right? But I guarantee you, if you take massive, massive, massive imperfect action and just go to work, guess what? You guys will get into a habit of doing one policy a day, sometimes 2, 3 policies a day. Okay? And that's where the business gets fun. If you're not doing 20,000, it's probably not too fun for you. Get to where it's fun. Make it fun. Create some goals. This is the easiest business to be in. It's the easiest vehicle to get us to multi-million dollars as soon as possible. So that's all I got for you guys. I'm going to stop the recording real quick.